Welcome. You are tuned in to Work at Bridge Sessions, coming to you from Work at Bridge Studios here in Longmont, Colorado. Our show is dedicated to promote talented musicians from all over and introduce them to our audience. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Big subscription symbol on right below the YouTube channel. Watch any of our most recent or past episodes. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram. I tweet just occasionally, not that much. It's kind of weird. Anyway, also you can become a supporter on my Patreon page, patreon.com/workatbridgestudios, and just donate like $1 or something like that. You know, it just kind of like helps fund the program. I'd like to thank our patrons, or current patrons, Scott Wright and Cliff Mattis, for their contribution to the program. Thank you. My name is Christopher Wright. Your host, our videographer, is Jesse Albanese from Wild Acorns Media, interning ZANE EMMING for Wild Acorns Media as well. Also, Coupe Studios in Boulder is offering a 30% discount on recording sessions anywhere from the EP to a full-length album for subscribing to this YouTube channel. I know those guys. I love those guys. So just email info@coupestudios.com. Today we have Pompe Jazz from Denver with us in the studio. Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Hi. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys coming out and doing the show. That's awesome. That's great.
Thank you for having us.
So let's do some introductions, shall we?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
I'm Eric Fellenstein. I'll be playing fiddle today.
Awesome.
I'm David Lawrence. I do some singing and some guitar playing.
Great.
I'm Kevin Laxar. I play the bass.
Kevin Laxar.
That's
bass.
the name they gave me.
And I'm Andy Hannum, and I'll just be doing some guitar.
Just some guitar.
Just.
Usually
Okay.
juggles too, but
Guitar.
Not all
Nice.
the guitar.
Nice hat. I like your hat though.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you. All right. Well, Dynamite. Let's just jump right in
Cool.
and do this. What's the name of the first song today?
This one's called Blues My Naughty Sweetie Gives to Me. It's a real old one. It goes all the way back to 1919, but it's still swings and it's
works
a real
in
good one.
2018.
Yeah.
Love it.
Works.
Love
That's almost 100 years old. 99.
it. Wow.
That's pretty wild, right?
That's great. All right. Pompe Jazz, Work at Bridge Studios. Thanks.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There are blues that you get from worry. There are blues that you get from pain. And there are blues when you're lonely, for you're one and only. The blues you can never explain. There are blues when you're feeling worried, but the bluest blues that be are those kind of blues get you down. They're the meanest blues around. The blues my naughty sweetie gives to me. that you get from worry. But the bluest blues that be are those kind of blues that get you down. They're the bluest blues around. The blues my naughty sweetie gives up. Blues my naughty sweetie gives. The blues my naughty sweetie gives to me.
Bravo. That sounded great. Sounded great, guys. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What was the name of that song again?
Blues my naughty sweetie gives to me.
Man,
Minor blues.
what a title, huh?
Yeah.
It's great. Holds up to the title.
Yeah, 1919.
We almost ended it on like a nice sort of major sound, but we're like, no, the baby's giving you the blues.
Totally.
We gotta end on that little. That was a whole long discussion we had last rehearsal.
Yeah.
Well, I like that.
It's amazing how long you can debate over one note
One chord.
or
Oh,
one chord.
absolutely. Cool. Let's do one more, and then we'll get to know you guys a little bit more.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
What do we have coming up?
This next one is an original number. It's called Foreign Tea, and I kind of, me and Andy sort of wrote it together, and it's basically, to me, it's reminiscent of like kind of Jewish songs growing up and hearing certain kind of Jewish songs from the cantor, and it kind of reminds me of some klezmer music and stuff like that. But
Very
it's
cool.
really fun. It's kind of definitely up tempo one.
Nice.
So hopefully we'll hang in there.
What's the name of it? Sorry.
Foreign, like from a foreign,
Foreign.
land. Tea, like
Foreign
the
tea.
leaf. Foreign tea.
Awesome. All right.
One, two, 3, 4. Foreign Tea.
Foreign Tea. That's great.
Yeah.
So you guys been together for a while then?
What is a
It's
while?
4 years this April, which is next month, and that's insanity because it goes very quickly.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
does.
4 years now.
Nice. Where did you guys meet? How did it happen? Because this is great. This is great.
I think if you go as far back as you can,
Sure.
me and Kevin went to high school together.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, we met even before high school.
Yeah, going into freshman year. Yeah.
Going into freshman year.
We were sorta neighbors.
Swim team, yeah. So I've known him a very long time, and
We met mutual friends, close friends. It was my now wife, but 5 years ago,
Gotcha.
and we just got you
And then
from
I
an
just
ad.
started parasiting my way, and I'm just kidding. No, I was going to DU at the time, and there was a flyer for that they needed a jazz violinist for a Gypsy Jazz group, and I'm like, oh my god, I totally want to do that,
Right.
like way more than classical.
He was like the third one that we tried. No.
No, but it was.
it
The
two or-
first email I got back, you guys had a violinist at the time. I was like, oh, okay. But then there was like an email soon thereafter, like, hey, so maybe still swing by because apparently she had flaked out on him. And yeah, that was 4 years ago actually. So you guys have been going for longer. I think I joined in April 4 years ago, and then yeah.
That's when it really, I think, became a real thing. Before
Gotcha.
that, the three of us were playing together, and we had played with another guitarist as well and a piano player, but all that kind of fell by the wayside. And
Sure.
They just need the good looks.
yeah,
Yeah,
we wanted
Right.
a more,
Somebody
more
stay on the
traditional
side.
gypsy sound and somebody who
Good luck.
who
We would have
yeah.
preferred a female violinist.
Right, that would have helped your business probably.
So, how do you guys write tunes? What's your process? I guess because that last one was the original, right?
Yeah, that one
That's great.
for me, a lot of times when I writing a tune, Andy's really great composing songs, and frequently they'll be pretty solid, like the chords and the melody will be pretty together, and then we'll all work on the arrangement together with
Right.
how we want things to go. And we had one song that we did on our last EP called Love Letter that took a lot of woodshedding, and we all put some energy into it and made new parts together and really worked it out. And then sometimes they're really simple and they go like that. This one, for me, I remember I was hearing the melody first and kind of hearing that.
It's a catchy melody for sure, man.
And then, but I was having a really hard time, wait, what chords is supposed to be there? And that's where Andy helps me a lot. And I
Gotcha.
think that we kind of worked together and then figured out how to make the chords work. Because it's quite odd the way that the chords work together compared to a lot of normal songs, and it took us a while to really get it under our fingers and learn it. Even though we made it, the melody sounds right, but then when you go to solo, it starts getting real funky.
Sure.
Yeah,
Got
but
it.
it's a fun one.
Awesome. So you have albums out then?
Yeah, this one is from our debut full-length album called Lush,
Lush.
and that came out a year and 5 months ago or so. It was January 2017.
Oh, good memory.
And then
It's been a while.
yeah, and then we put out an EP, which was really cool. We won an award from the Westward Music Showcase, so we got a Producer's Choice Award, and it got us a free 3-track EP that we got to do.
What?
Yeah.
Genre, because they have the genres that you vote for in the showcase and whatever.
Jazz.
Jazz. Gotcha. Okay.
It's hard to avoid that if your name has jazz in it.
Right. Absolutely. I didn't know if it would be avant-garde or something along those lines because they
Yeah.
have there's these random genres anyway.
Yeah.
So where can people pick your album up?
It's we're on all the big networks. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We got a Bandcamp. If Bandcamp is awesome.
It is
if people
awesome.
haven't
It's really
discovered that.
cool.
It's such
Yeah,
a great
yeah.
place to find new music. But
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, it's pretty much all those platforms. Or
And our shows.
yeah, you
That's
can
the
come
best
to a
way
show.
to do it.
You can
Yeah.
punch us if you don't like us, or you can shake our hand and then buy an album.
Yeah.
That physical interaction is everything.
You're right. Where do you guys like to? Some of the venues you guys play.
What's your favorite show, Andy?
Oh man, I feel like I've really come to like the Mercury Cafe. I feel like that's become a sort of second home for us, and they really treat us well there. They
God,
really
I
like
can
us,
imagine.
and we really love the crowd.
Yeah.
We love doing that specific thing. They hire us for the swing dances, and that's a really fun
Upstairs?
thing. That's exactly
Yeah,
up on the
that's
dance
great.
floor. That's helped define a lot of what we do, and it's helped us find a community and a scene.
Very cool. Yeah, that's such a great club. That's such a great club.
What's your favorite one?
The Merc is they got to get a shout out just because they've taken care of us for a long time.
Yeah.
And we like that we've, become part of that community. But I really like, we've done some real cool events working through Swallow Hill.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking.
was
I
wondering
swear
about
that's
that.
me.
At their location
Cool.
on Broadway or whatever, down
Yeah.
in Denver, Broadway and Yale, I
Yep.
think.
But also all over.
Yeah, well, as well as doing like some outdoor events for them.
They run a lot of shows that people don't realize. Like they run the Botanical Gardens show.
That is
They
center.
That's a good. I've seen some show. I saw Hall & Oates at the Botanical Gardens.
really
Yeah.
that's cool.
I was like, this is cool. So, you know?
Kebmo and Taj Mahal are playing again this year.
Really, yeah, that's great.
We played. They had us open up for Big Bad Voodoo Daddy
that
like
was
a year and a
huge.
half ago or
What
something.
was the
Nice.
actual venue for
I
that?
think it was the Oriental,
Oriental,
right?
yeah.
Oriental?
Yeah, but they were the booking or promoters for it, and that was really really cool.
Nice.
They're really good people over there.
Yeah. So La Pompe, you were saying, explain that a little bit. Just
You got to do it to explain
Sorry.
it because it's it's the rhythm guitar. So me and Andy, there's not like a lead or rhythm guitar player. We're trading off on lead and rhythm a lot.
Which is kind of rare actually for gypsy jazz groups.
Yeah.
Usually you have like rhythm guys and then the one guy who takes solos.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had to. It's really good for us. It makes a better whole player, but like it is hard during the transition sometimes. So we've had to really work on those like transitions and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But so when you play rhythm in this style in gypsy jazz, you're playing this. You're basically trying to mimic a drum because there's no drummer in kind of like in traditional bluegrass.
Sure.
And the guitar is really acting as the snare, like ch 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 ch. And if you see my hands, bump, bump,
Yeah.
bump. So for French, la pompe is the pump because your arm is pumping.
Sure, yeah.
There you go, la pompe.
I'm sure you get that question all the time.
Yeah.
But I think that's great. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't do la pompe. We'll swing it. We'll do like a bosses. And that's no more la pompe.
Nice.
And that's why the way I describe this style to people is that basically Europeans took American jazz and tried to replicate it with just string instruments.
Right.
And so anything like that, like that's why people constantly are surprised. They're like, wow, I was like really grooving to that, even though you guys don't have a drummer, because like these guys really lay in. It's got that kind of sharp attack with
The guitars.
that particular style.
There are special guitars that are.
So
Mine's
these
a-
are special guitars then?
Yeah. So both of ours have the bigger. This one's really big. They call them
Yeah, you're just kind of an
grand
in-betweener.
bouche, big mouth.
But size doesn't matter.
Size doesn't matter.
But then it's funny though because gypsy jazz guitars have really big holes or real small ones.
Right.
They don't have like the in between like the dreadnought size that we have.
Sure.
And then like there's also a lot of differences with the way that they're like built and the way that the wood is bent and stuff like that, and it just makes a really loud and
Not
sharp
nylon string.
attack. They're not nylon string. They are special.
Common misunderstanding or like mishearing is it sounds a little bit like that. I think it's because the strings are looser because the scale of the neck is longer.
Yeah. So it's a little bit. It's a little easier to press down on the strings than like a Martin steel string.
Sure.
But they're like silver wound or something like that. They're similar to folk music silken steels.
Gotcha.
Not that anyone out there cares about that.
Everybody cares about that.
No, I believe that.
Believe me, I care about that. For
Yeah.
sure. Well, excellent. Want to plug anything coming up you guys got
Oh,
going
yeah.
on?
Yeah, April's a fun month for us. We have a couple rapid fire things, starting with we're playing the Colorado Gypsy Jazz Festival for the first time this year, which
Cool.
is twofold. It's in Denver with Swallow Hill, as well as up in Estes Park. We get to do both of those rapid fire days, and Harmonious Whale is playing. Aaron Walker has some guys he's playing with, and it should be a super great time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
it's
to
a
check that out for
yeah,
sure.
no, it's a great
When- when
place
is
to
that
get this
again?
style. It's April 20. It's the weekend of the April 20th. So
Okay.
I think it's 20th, 21st.
Yeah, it's right around then. Of course,
When you guys
everything's on
up
our
in
website.
Estes on the 21st?
The second of the days. It's the Sunday, whatever
Okay.
that weekend is. I think it's
22nd,
22nd.
21st.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So where is it in Denver? And where is it in Estes? Just
I believe Denver is at Swallow Hill. Is that right?
Yeah, it's at their Swallow Hill, which
At
is
the-
down like
Off
right
of
off South
Yale
Broadway.
and- yeah.
Pretty far down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right before you get into Englewood.
Which is a fun venue. It's this big, hall. It's very like old kind of barn-like and all that. It's cool. Yeah.
Good
I already
acoustics.
like it.
Yeah. All about it. And
great.
then we have one like rapid fire that week again.
Yeah. Well, we have that, and we have this is fun. You guys, we're doing this kind of recording, kind of a live recording process here, which has been really awesome. And we're actually doing our first one next in April. That's going to be with like a live studio audience.
Oh, cool.
So that's going to be really exciting. We're doing it with Blues Roots TV.
Oh, nice.
A good guy that's a blues musician and is just bringing a lot of new bands in for this project. And it's over at Open Media on CalMath. And because of that, we're really stoked about it. We want to make it really special, so we're doing a meet and greet and a little jam afterwards, right across the street at the Intrepid Sojourner. So that's one of the new, really awesome breweries in town. If you haven't checked it out, and yeah, it's Intrepid Sojourner.
So
Quite the name, right?
Soldier?
Sojourner, like a traveler.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha,
like
gotcha,
they're
gotcha.
kind of what they do is they really specialize in beers from around the world. So they'll get really specific into
So not just
different.
Colorado beers.
Yeah, they'll be like really specific, nice German style or English
nice.
style.
They,
And
they brew their own, and it has
That's
a
great.
spice from different places. But yeah, if
Yeah.
you weren't sold on just our faces playing live for a recording, then we'll all be partying there afterwards. So
yeah,
that'll
and
be fun.
they're going to be giving discount beer for all the people that come to the show. So it's going to be a really good double whammy of La Pompe.
But if you
Nice.
can't make those, Facebook, we're really good about updating, and our website as well is a great place to see all of our shows coming up. We have a ton that are lining up faster than we can count them for summer, so we're really excited.
Last question. Do you guys do this for that? This is your living? This is your life?
It's definitely our life. Is it our living?
Some weeks
We're
it's our
trying.
living.
Some weeks, yeah.
It's my living right now. I was like, I've saved up, like, this is
Yeah,
what I'm
to be
doing.
fair,
I'm
it
making,
is also technically mine.
yeah.
Wait, we all do this. This is like full time, and then we have to do some part time workout around it. But
Right.
this is our main
Give
project.
lessons or something on this?
Actually,
Does anybody?
I used to.
I would
I
love
used
to
give
do
lessons.
that, but I don't have like a pool of students. So
Well,
I'm
to be fair,
sure-
you do have to try.
Yeah.
They don't just like fall from the sky. It's-
some people, man. I think if you're in
Yeah.
the right place, there's people just like lining up at your door.
true.
Someone from France emailed me to send them guitar tabs of one
Whoa.
of the songs
Really?
I did.
That's cool.
I don't have guitar tabs.
Right.
well,
Yeah.
that's interesting. But yeah, the idea is to get there. We have weddings and corporate events as sort of a backbone, and then releasing original stuff, which, I mean, we're so lucky that we get a gig around town as much as we can.
Dude, I
And
feel like
during
you
holiday
guys
season,
can
like,
tour like crazy.
well, yeah, and I mean, it's the only thing. Swing dancers will come to just gig after gig because they love dancing to live music, and so we'll have weeks where we're literally playing 6 of the 7 days in a week.
Yeah.
And we've had times where the same people will come to 4 gigs straight,
Which is awesome.
It's
I bet.
amazing.
Yeah, that's
it's such
great.
a,
Yeah,
we're so
that's
lucky to have that
It's
kind
very,
of fan
it's very
base.
symbiotic.
Yeah.
In a way,
That's great.
Yeah, because when they come to shows that aren't for just swing dancers and they're dancing up a storm, it's really fun for the other people that are watching. It makes it more of like an interactive experience for them. It's really cool.
involved, eh?
Takes pressure
Yeah.
off of our ugly mugs up here. Helps us.
Understood. Well, cool. I think we definitely have time for one more. What are you thinking? What do you guys?
This one is really cool. We did it on the Lush on the full length album, and it takes 2 of our, well, my at least personal heroes, Django Reinhardt, of course, who is the godfather of Gypsy Jazz, and we have Jimi Hendrix. So 2
Wow.
guitar gods,
Awesome.
and we kind of medleyed them
What a
together.
combination. Huh?
Mashup, yeah.
Yes, it's fun.
So Django had 2 fingers on one hand, right? On his lead hand, right? Is that right?
Too usable.
2 usable.
Well, I mean, to be
And,
fair, he
used-
did use the other ones. So he was burned in a fire when he was young, and it sort of fused together his ring and his pinky finger, and
Gotcha.
and it kind of put him in a position where when he was playing lead, a lot of the time he was just using the first 2 fingers.
Right.
But he still used these guys to do a lot of chord shapes. There's a lot of chord shapes that are now played in Gypsy Jazz that I think just come directly from the limitations of his hand and how he had to play chords.
That makes sense.
But then because that became the sound, now people do those chords anyways. So he still used it for some things, but when you'd see him playing lead, he would be doing just that 2-finger thing. That's how he got that name.
Which is always a nice remembrance whenever you're like, man, this lick is really hard. I don't think I can get it. Then you're like, oh, right, that freaking guy got that. He can do it with 2 fingers.
But also sometimes it's easier with 2 fingers because the licks are based off of like the whole. It's very rare that there's a style of music that's based off one person. Oftentimes, it'll be based off a time period and like a group of people and stuff like that were kind of proponents of it. But like Gypsy Jazz is more or less, when we think of it, we are basically saying Django music. Which is really cool that he was so prolific and so influential into this style.
I agree.
And in the world and after this many years. But sometimes you'll do these runs and they will be actually a little easier. You'll get it more. He also uses thumb a lot. So he would wrap and they
on the top. Yeah.
the top. So we like wrap our thumb around for a lot of chord shapes because that's what he had to do and it makes it easier to play.
Cool. Well, let's launch into
kick it off.
This last one. What's it called again? Sorry.
It's a medley between Treblant bolero style rhythm, and
Purple Haze
style rhythm.
kiss the sky. Purple haze all around. Don't know if I'm seeing up or down. Am I happy or in misery? Whatever time. Happy, happy, happy. Whoa, purple haze. Get it, boy.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Nice. Well, that's a great way to end the show, huh? Dang.
It's hard to go wrong with Jimi Hendrix.
Right? Oh, man. Awesome. I'd like to thank La Pompe Jazz for being in the studio today, Worker Bird. Please help support the program by becoming a patron on our Patreon page, patreon.com/Workabird Studios. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking subscribe underneath this video. I'd like to thank Jesse Albanese from Wild Acorns Media for production on today's session, and intern ZANE EMMING for your contribution as well. Also, remember, musicians can get 30% off recording sessions at Coupe Studios in Boulder. Just email info@coupestudios.com. Lastly, for more information on La Pompe Jazz, just one more plug for you guys.
ThePompejazz.com.
LaPompeJazz.com.
Likes on Facebook.
Or
that helps.
Instagram and Facebook, we're very good at. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. All right. I'll put all that information on the YouTube link and underneath where the information is. Yeah,
Appreciate
no worries. Lastly, I'd like to thank Jim Krasaniak, Eric Singer, and all the staff from Coupe Studios for help producing and professional guidance for this show. And, of course, our Patreon supporters, Cliff Mattis, Scott Wright, Lauren Wright, Jenny Wright, Daniel Ellis, and hopefully more soon. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Thanks so much. And thank you guys once again.
That was a pleasure.
Thanks for
coming
Thanks
in.
for having us.
Really appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Have a great day, and thanks from Worker Bird Studios here in Longmont. The end.